We actually, as we're recording today, Ecuador is going to the polls. They are voting on restoring Rafael Correa's party to power, which seems as if that's something that's somewhat likely to happen after several years of Lenin Moreno's neoliberal governance. But we'll check in on that down the road, maybe even do an episode on Ecuador. Also have some material on Peru. We've been meaning to get out for some time and the situation there. So we will be posting that shortly. Stay tuned.
As far as Correa is concerned, he's the guy who was in power when they took in Assange, right? It wasn't this new guy. Yeah.
Yes, Rafael Correa allowed Assange to stay in the embassy. He was friendly towards Assange, as the pink tide governments tended to be. Lenin Moreno came into power, the candidate of Rafael Correa's party, supposedly to continue the legacy of Rafael Correa, and just did a 180 basically and implemented neoliberalism, resulting in the large protests that occurred there. Lenin Moreno, just a real villain of the last few years in Latin America, just taking out an IMF loan, saddling them with all this debt, slashing taxes for international investors and high earners, and even just on a symbolic level, really seemingly just wanting to turn the page on the pink tide. UNISOR was this kind of regional alliance, this regional integration initiative that had been begun by some of these pink tide leaders. It was based in Ecuador, headquarters were there. There was a statue of Nestor Kirchner there, the Argentine pink tide leader. Lenin Moreno took down that statue, saying that the continent needed to turn the page on the policies of the pink tide, which he called authoritarian, which, yes, I think were authoritarian, perhaps, and rightfully so, towards the wealthy. That's what we like. Lenin Moreno having a popularity rating of about 7% now, so not a popular guy. And it seems that despite people's issues with Rafael Correa and his government, they're about ready to put that movement back in power. Although it comes at a price, they are saddled with this IMF loan now, as Bolivia is after the coup. So these kind of things, even as when pink tide leaders have gotten back in power in Latin America, they have often been kind of sabotaged and kind of hamstrung by things that these right-wing leaders have been able to do. There's speculation among some people that even Lenin Moreno is a CIA agent or something like that. He really did seem to really have it in for that. I mean, there were these bogus charges against Rafael Correa. They were imprisoning on false pretenses members of Rafael Correa's party. It was really this, you saw this lawfare unleashed there, as it was in in Brazil and other Latin American countries, against the left.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's like an accusation that I have no idea, but I'm honestly not willing to dismiss it out of hand, like, because I feel like if the CIA or whatever relevant security service wanted, if they could do that, they would do it. Like, there's no... Yeah.
He's done everything someone in that position would do, and so... Not a good guy, Lenin Moreno. He narrowly won his election back about 4 years ago when people were happy at the time because purportedly it was going to be a continuation, but it's just, like I say, he's done a 180. Anyway, stay tuned to Podme Us for all of your updates on international affairs. Throw out your issue of The Economist, Foreign Affairs magazine, America's Quarterly, all of that garbage. Get The Atlantic. Don't even get me started on them.
Oh, yeah. No, we're already out of that league there.
I mean, you basically can't find good foreign policy. I mean, unless it's like from just genuinely outright socialist sources. I mean, we've got conservative interventionism.
Non-establishment sources, just sources that aren't all that concerned with protecting whatever atavistic image of the United States that we keep proffering.
Yeah, it's, well, they say politics stops at the water's edge. I mean, and I think that's true. We have two capitalist parties, and nowhere does that come more clear than when you're talking about international relations and all about making the world safe for Western capitalism, essentially.
They want access to cheap material. They want favorable trade regimes. And yeah, there's enough overlap that foreign policy is an interesting thing to look at because you really get a sense of what the establishment of both parties wants because they're usually in agreement.
Yeah, I think it really drives it home. I mean, once you realize, and I think people are becoming hip to the fact that we just have eternal war, and it really represents just all the similarities of the two major parties. There's this great Michael Parenti clip. People might have even seen it where he's talking about imperialism and with kind of his like endearing Italian accent and, about how it's for the sake of capitalists. And they go in and they take the bauxite and the copper and the rubber and the slaves. He is a goat, Michael Parenti.